So Aquaman, yeah, it came out 12th of December. And if you guys haven't seen it, then I think you better get your ticket and watch it. Because I have some thoughts on Aquaman. The movie was amazing. I have to say it was amazing. The fight scenes was very interesting. The the I guess the way Aquaman became king, I didn't expect it to be that, you know, like obviously in any kind of movie, the person has to take defeat and then has to take the L and then come back and then the other guy takes the L and then he's the warrior, he's the champion. So that was the DC typical classic movie. But in terms of the fighting arrangements, I didn't know he was gonna fight his brother, the Ocean Master. And yeah, I'm spoiling it, but obviously, if you guys haven't watched Aquaman, then watch my other videos. You know what I mean? So basically, I wasn't expecting what's it? I wasn't expecting Aquaman to actually fight his brother to gain the actual the respect of being the king. Even though he got the trident, I thought that was all. I thought that was all that the movie was going to end. But then he had to fight his brother because he had to redeem that kind of pride that that his brother had as being the Ocean Master. And the titles were just so weird. There was Ocean Master, there was the King, there was so many kings, there's so many kingdoms, and it shows that Aquaman's kingdom is the strongest because the way the Guardians of Aquaman, yeah, in this the way Atlantis warriors, they kind of protect the kingdom like it's easy, right? They don't really need to exert that much power. That just shows you how strong the warriors of the sea are. And when I was watching it, I was thinking Aquaman and Thor, which one is better? And then I was also comparing Aquaman and Thor. I know DC and Marvel, they don't really compare well. But when you think about it, Aquaman is basically Marvel's edition of Thor. Because obviously Thor's royalty and Aquaman is royalty. Thor is OP, Aquaman's OP. No, but the difference is between Aquaman and Thor is that Thor started off being, able to hold Mjolnir, and Aquaman had to reach a certain stage until he was trustworthy, and he had to fight. He had to know of his people, where Thor already knew of his people, and his father was Odin, but Aquaman, he didn't really have a father. His father was quite useless because they didn't mention him, which was quite interesting because his father was human, so it doesn't really make sense to see how the difference between the status of Thor and Aquaman are. Then it got me thinking. I moved more down onto the technology of Asgard. No, not Asgard, of Atlantis. Now the technology is more advanced. It's more advanced than Asgardian technology. Reasons being is because Asgardian technology, yeah, it's more for undersea, but it has more of a stronger material. As in the Aquaman movie, they gave the black man the suit. It was basically a robot suit, and it was very durable because Aquaman kept on hitting the guy, but no dent was made. So it just shows how good Atlantis technology is. And I was quite amazed by that because obviously the best technology that I thought of was Wakandan technology, which is so more advanced than Earth's technology. So it's interesting for me to see Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Aquaman just recently, to see the different kind of technology and how the technology kind of helped revolutionize the world, if you know what I mean. And obviously my technology is sick, so you know what I mean. So yeah, there were some interesting scenes. There were quite some obvious scenes as well. Like the funniest bit was like when Aquaman was trying to regain the throne, and then there was this sea urchin, this sea monster was saying, "Oh, those who came here." It was such a long quote. It was saying, "Those who came here are not worthy. They're pile of bones. Who do you think you are, you half-breed?" It was just like lots of name callings. And then all of a sudden, Aquaman was like, "Stop." I think I'm worthy of the throne or something like that. But it was like, and then at a point, the monster was like, "You understand me?" And I was like, it was quite stupid in a sense because the monster was talking all by itself. So how can you not understand? How can Aquaman not understand what was happening? Even though the monster might not know that, but still, it's like you can't just talk by yourself. Surely monsters aren't that crazy. They still have some brain in them. So yeah, that was an interesting bit, and you know, I like the way Aquaman was presented. He was presented as a pure maniac. Like he was just so sick. I love his character. Like the Jason Momoa that played him was just fit for the character. He was so cool. He didn't care that much until when his brother started getting out of control, and his brother was like, "Let me teach the surfacers a lesson." So I was like, "Oh, it's quite interesting." And then obviously, in terms of it being the best DC movie, I would say it's the best DC movie because sure it's not better than what's it? Justice League. I mean, I've barely watched Justice League, but I know that Aquaman wasn't in Justice League, so I guess this movie was deserved and well waited for Aquaman. Seeing how OP Aquaman is in the comics and in cartoons, so we get more of a sense of Aquaman's childhood in this movie, and to see his different years and his different fighting habits, and it was quite interesting because I believe there could be so much more that Aquaman could have done when he was a child. Like there could be so much more. I mean, when you have the power to communicate to animals, you can build a whole army of animals. But obviously, he didn't realize it. If he had known sooner enough, he could do anything. Like literally, say he could have handled his brothers. He could have handled the Ocean Master with ease. He could have just been like, sharks, take him, devour him, he could have done so much. But I believe that he didn't realize how much power he had grasped himself. And yeah, was there anything more that was special about Aquaman? Well, I can't really say much because I basically spoiled it for you guys. And I know that if the people who are watching have already watched Aquaman. If you guys haven't watched my video, yeah, check out. If you guys don't want to be spoiled, I know I'm basically spoiling you, but I'll basically put a title and be like, spoiler warning if you haven't watched this yet. So yeah, overall, the movie was quite interesting. What would I give it out of 10? I'll give it 10 out of 10. The visuals, the fighting, the scenes, they were just quite interesting. The plot was very nice. It showed, a black man being a villain, so it was quite cliche. It's quite cliche. Because the guy's acting was debatable. It's debatable. And what's it? It was just, I felt like the black guy could have done so much more. Like, although he's human, he could have at least, what's it? I feel like there could have been so much more done on Aquaman. Like, in terms of character development, I like how they changed Aquaman to be a kind, caring, peaceful person. And then, it's just, everything about the movie was sick. Like, if I wanted to watch it again, I probably would. But then, how would I want to watch it again when there's things like Marvel Infinity coming in July 2019? And also, speaking of which, the Marvel trailer dropped recently, and I'm going to review that. So, subscribe to my channel, put on notifications, share my video to other people so that they can, check out me, and subscribe to my channel. Be a Top Expo gang, you know what I mean? Gang. Anyway, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'll post whenever you guys want me to. I post regularly. I post amazing content. Just subscribe. That's what you have to do. Thank you very much.